What is up, guys? BK voiceover here, and welcome to yet again another game recap for your Seattle Seahawks. This is going to be covering our most recent game against our bitter division rivals, the Arizona Cardinals. And as you can see from the screen, if you didn't already know or didn't watch the game yourselves, Seattle was able to take a very convincing win at home against the Arizona Cardinals 19-9. And we're going to run through kind of what happened. So for the most part, this whole game is kind of deviated from what we've seen the past couple of weeks for sure, where before we were seeing offensive shootouts, which were fantastic, but we're also being let down by our paper-thin defense. This was not the case. This is a case where the Cardinals were actually doing a pretty effective job of shutting down Geno Smith, and also getting consistent pressure in the backfield. The offensive line did struggle quite a bit in this game. 5 sacks of Geno Smith this game. Granted, not all of those were on the offensive line, but still, getting consistent pressure on Geno. Had to find success in other places. But this was a fantastic showing of the defense taking a big step forward. As I'm sure you already know, Seattle's defense through the first 5 games of this season has not been very good at all. It couldn't really stop a whole lot of anything. It was doing a lot more bending and breaking than we would definitely prefer to see. But this time around, not the case. Seattle had 6 sacks of Kyler Murray on the day, as well as an interception to go along with only allowing the Arizona Cardinals to score 3 points. I know it says 9 points up there, but 6 of those points were due to a complete special teams breakdown where Michael Dixon could not get the punt off in time, and he was tackled in the end zone, fumbled the ball, and they were able to get the fumble recovery for the touchdown. So honestly, looking at this, aside from that one special teams blunder, this game wasn't particularly close. So yeah, let's kind of run down the box score and get a better idea of where the success came in this game. First off, in the passing side of things, Geno Smith did not have his best game. He wasn't bad by any stretch of the imagination. Just wasn't as effective as we've seen him in the first 5 weeks. So he was 20 for 31. About 64.5 completion percentage. He threw for 197 yards. No TDs, no picks. Quarterback rating of 82.3, which is average. Not great. Seattle did see some good use in the running game today. However, Geno Smith was very effective using his legs, along with Kenneth Walker III, who took over as the starting running back since Rashad Penny is out for the remainder of the season with that terrible leg injury. But Kenneth Walker definitely filled Penny's shoes here pretty effectively today, even when the offensive line wasn't being that helpful. He rushed for 21. He on 21 carries. He had 97 yards and a touchdown, 4.6 yards a carry. It's a pretty good average. Geno Smith was also pretty effective. A couple of designed runs, a couple of good scrambles that got some good yardage. He had 6 carries for 48 yards. DJ Dallas did see the field a little bit, but it wasn't really much in the rushing game. He did get a whole lot done. In the receiving game, again, not a whole lot. Noah Fant was your leading receiver on the day. He had 6 catches for 45 yards. D. Eskridge was actually your number 1 wide receiver on the day with 3 catches for 39 yards. He was also Seattle's highest rated wide receiver or highest rated offensive player this game, which is really good to see. Really hope that this is a good sign of him sort of breaking out and becoming a bigger part of this offense that we were hoping to see last year before he got injured. Aside from that on the day, it was a pretty quiet day for most other receivers. DK Metcalf, 2 catches for 34 yards on 7 targets. A couple of those balls were uncatchable. A couple of those he should have had, but it's whatever. Marquise Goodwin had a couple 2 catches for 26. Tyler 2 for 17. Kenneth Walker also had a couple catches for 13 yards. Disley had a catch for 12 yards. Colby Parkinson also had a couple of catches for 11 yards. Another big play on the day was a forced fumble by Kobe Bryant. which was recovered by Tariq Woolen, a big turnover. Unfortunately, no points came out of that game. That was actually the end of that drive that came from that turnover was Michael Dixon giving up 6 points. So not exactly the ending we were all hoping for, but it is what it is. On the defensive side of things, Seattle had a huge day. Jordan Brooks, again, your leading tackler, showed a lot of improvement in coverage today, which was fantastic. Seattle on the day, 10 tackles, 6 sacks, and 10 tackles for loss. Of course, 6 of those were the sacks themselves. 4 passes, defense, 7 quarterback hits, as well as Tariq Woolen's 4th interception in 4 games. Marquise Brown, just an amazing jump ball interception. Unfortunately, Marquise Brown did get injured on that play. Hoping that it's not too serious. I think I heard that after a second opinion, he could come back this season, but hoping him a speedy recovery. Injuries are never good. But yeah, 6 separate Seahawks recorded sacks today. The pressure was getting to Kyler Murray all day. Ryan Neal had a sack. Poona Ford had a sack, as well as 2 additional tackles for loss. Q-Jeff had a sack. Shelby Harris had a sack. Nwosu had a sack. Darrell Taylor had a strip sack. Unfortunately, the fumble was recovered by the offense. But still, fantastic play all around for this team. Even Joey Blunt, who was a UDFA pickup that made it onto the 53-man roster, he was making some very consistent tackles on special teams. I think he could be a very useful part of this team going forward. So yeah, lots of really impressive improvement, especially on Jordan Brooks. Kobe Bryant had his best game of his very young NFL career for sure. He had that amazing forced fumble and his own pass defense. He was really good in coverage, along with Tariq Woolen, who, congratulations to Tariq Woolen. He won the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. Much deserved. Really looking forward to seeing what this guy could do. Honestly, I think it's as of right now, it's a 3-person race for Defensive Rookie of the Year between Woolen, Devin Lloyd, the linebacker for the Jaguars, and then Sauce Gardner, who was the 4th overall pick, corner for the Jets. I think it's a 3-man race between those 3 right now for Defensive Rookie of the Year. But yeah, I really hope that teams don't learn their lesson with Tariq, and stop throwing his way, and keep throwing his way, because I want to see more picks. But I think they're starting to get a little bit wise that maybe we shouldn't be throwing to Woolen anymore. So yeah, Tariq Woolen has come so much farther in his rookie season than I ever could have hoped or imagined, and I'm super excited to see where he goes from here. Brian Monet also had a pretty solid day in run defense. Arguably, he was the best defensive lineman on the field, and he didn't even record a sack. Boye Mafe, also pretty quiet day, all in all, but he'll have more opportunities to go forward. The offensive line struggled a lot. The tackles struggled a lot. Charles Cross had a penalty and also gave up a couple of pressures. Abraham Lucas gave up a sack today, as well as had a couple of other penalties. But, it's one. They're going to have bad games. They're rookies. They're learning. But honestly, they've been doing so fantastic so far that it's hard for me to find any places to nitpick. So anyways, so at the end of the day, Seattle ends up winning 19-9 against the Cardinals. They move to 3-3. If the draft were to end today, Seattle would own the 7th and 14th overall picks. The 7th overall pick belonging to the Denver Broncos pick. So yeah, that's kind of your quick game recap for the week. Sorry it came out so late. I kind of got stuck with other things I had to take care of on Sunday and throughout the week, but happy to finally be getting this video out now. Thanks again, guys, so much for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to drop a like and also comment down below how you thought Seattle did this week, and also what you think the final score is going to be for the Chargers-Seahawks game coming up this Sunday. So, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified whenever I post. And as always, go Hawks.